KwaZulu-Natal Premier Thamsanqa Ntuli will lead a district crime Indaba and service delivery monitoring programs aimed at enhancing community policing through fostering relations between communities, government and police. Communities will get a chance to address the Premier on their lived experience where service delivery is concerned. The Premier, Thamsanqa Ntuli, joins us this evening to discuss some of the issues that continue to plague the province. Good evening, Premier. Thank you very much for joining us on the SABC. A lot of issues needing your attention in KwaZulu-Natal, from infrastructure to economic growth and crime. But let's perhaps start with the most pressing, which is that of crime. Extortion rackets were first reported in the construction industry in KwaZulu-Natal. Today, one well-known business forum, Amadela Ngokubona, told our reporter that politicians are behind the construction mafia, which is quite worrying. Are you aware of these allegations?
Well, good afternoon, Mfundo, and to the viewers at home. Thank you for having me. And one is not aware, because if politicians are involved, is one area that will investigate when, as soon as we receive the information, to ensure that that is brought into books. We deal decisively with whoever is involved from the side of the politicians. Hence, we have made a call as the Province of KwaZulu-Natal that the issue of the construction mafia has no space in our province. We want to stop that, even the extortion. We want to ensure that it doesn't happen in our province. We're on a mission of fighting crime in our province, whatever nature of crime. I think we have seen in the recent days, after the Department of Community Safety and Liaison was put under the office of the Premier, you have seen the change.
But just for clarity, are you saying it's the first time you hear of the allegations? Not necessarily that I'm asking if you know which politicians could be involved, but just, is it the first time you're hearing of this grand collusion, perhaps between politicians and sometimes even police officers, to almost enable these construction mafias?
Well, it's the first time I hear about it, that there are politicians who are involved, since we have been, in fact, paying a special attention to the matter. You recall that even during my State of the Province address, I made a clarion call to say people who are involved with this kind of the behavior, they must stop it, and they must stop it now, because we'll be working with the police to ensure that we pay a special attention, because we want KwaZulu-Natal to be a safer province. And will never tolerate the people who are having the behavior of the mafias, construction mafias, and even those who are doing extortion.
But are you any closer to resolving or addressing this problem, just to almost dismantle these extortion rackets?
Yeah, we have started. I think you have seen the work of the police, which we really commend, the work of the police in KwaZulu-Natal, to ensure that they address it. And we're paying special attention to all details that pertains illegal activities in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, as the Department of Community Safety and Liaison, as you have seen the operation which I led, or was led by the department at eThekwini, where the police were able to uncover the undocumented foreign nationals. Yes. And some criminal activities. And it's the program, which was not an event, which will continue, as tomorrow we'll be attending a different place, and we'll be moving to other places, and we'll be even making a call that the kind of the activity is finding in all over the province of KwaZulu-Natal.
A very important point that you make there, that this is a program, not a single event or isolated event. But then I want to take you to the shootouts between police and suspects, which have become common occurrence. There's a perception in some quarters that you're winning the battle against crime, but a perception remains just that, it's a perception. What are the facts here? Are you really winning the battle against crime?
Well, I think the collaboration between all the departments, because it's not only a SABC. I think for the operation we had at eThekwini, we had the Department of Home Affairs, we had Department of Social Development, we had eThekwini Metro, and even the other crime fighters, such as the CPFs and other many groups that are collaborating in fighting crime. That are part of the program. we are hopeful that we have started to move quite positively. The community now are beginning to even report criminal activities without fear to the police, which is an indication that our call is finding, in fact, support from the level of the communities and even the other crime fighters, institutions and leaders of the society that will be, in fact, interacting with per district. They are now participating and they are quite positive. I'm hopeful that the society as its entirety is beginning now to be aware, that we all have a role to play in fighting crime in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. And soon we'll be seeing much fruits of the program. In July only, the number of the arrests that were made by the police, there were indication that the police in KwaZulu-Natal, they are doing good work, supported by all the crime fighters in the province of KwaZulu-Natal and the government of KwaZulu-Natal.
Then to infrastructure, which has an impact on service delivery. What are the current priorities for infrastructure development in the province, and how is the provincial government addressing the backlog in road maintenance?
Well, there are so many projects that are actually taking place in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, and in our engagements with the MEC for transport and human settlement, we're quite clear that in our plan going forward, we need to ensure that for each and every municipality, we will need to have some kilometers that will be attending to ensure that we address the issue of the road infrastructure. You know that in N2 and N3, there's a lot of work which is done there by Central, which as the development of KwaZulu-Natal, we are actually also collaborating and supporting that program. We are saying the things of the past that have been affecting the progress in the infrastructural development, such as the extortion, such as the construction mafia, they don't have a space to operate in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, because we want to see improvement. And the other thing, which is a relief, which we're in discussion, we had an interaction with Transnet today with Hewlett to say the issue of resuscitating the railway lines is in fact a priority to the province of KwaZulu-Natal, so that we address the issue of even the congestion in the roads and even the accidents that are taking place in the roads.
Now, Premier, yesterday we saw the Witness ran a story that your MEC for Public Works, Martin Meyer, is considering selling government's underutilized properties that are providing or at least proving costly to maintain. What is the plan there, Premier? Because we understand government departments are still paying millions in rent for other companies' buildings when you have your own buildings.
Yeah, in fact, the only challenge we have there is the location of those specific buildings. But the MEC for Public,
Public Works, yes.
Public Works and Infrastructure is doing good work, which we have agreed upon for us as government to identify all the buildings that we can still use, and even the cabinet. We have engaged that we need to look at the facilities that we have and see if they can be used by the government departments, depending on their location, because the accessibility by the community is also quite very important. It's a process, in fact, which is not only for public works and infrastructure, but which is for all of us as the government of KwaZulu-Natal, which we have discussed that we want to understand what we have, what we can still use, what we may need to transfer, like the others. We said we'll be transferring them to eThekwini because of their location and the agreement with the eThekwini Metro, that they can make good use of them.
All right. Premier, thank you very much for your time this evening. That's Premier Ntuli speaking to us.
Thank you.